be able to go with the ride with me, as he will be assisting others as well too. So this was the nature of our contract. And since that time of December 2008, Jonas has come through, and I've been able to do a process of channeling with him. It is very similar to how some people may understand someone like Abraham Hicks, or someone like Bashar, or someone like Seth. All of those have basically just come together in the same capacity, just in a very similar style, but brought forward in my own unique way via the channeling state. So all you're doing is, it's like when an actor becomes the part. You're basically just connecting to this energy. Mm-hmm. The energy becomes you, you become the energy, and the words become themselves. Again, just like the intuitive conversation I'm doing now.
The information that Adronis is able to channel through you to those who seek you for your mediumship, where does he get the information from?
Yes, well, his energy is connected to basically all life. It's connected to all extensions. And so it's very similar to as if you were to see a crowd of people all behind each other, and they all have these cords that are connected to each other, all to their hearts. And that as one being is speaking, then they're basically receiving a soup or a blending of all of these energies coming through their heart to share this. And so Adronis himself really would not represent the idea of an individual. The name itself has simply been served for convenience, and it serves for a particular energetic through me. But basically what he's doing is he's representing himself as a liaison. He's kind of like the one that's going up to the podium while he's connected to all of these other beings and all to these other aspects of life, and is actually communicating in a blending of consciousness that is then flowed through me and interpreted through language. So basically he is a liaison or a representative on behalf of the collective consciousness.
Why in the year 2014 are people so still fascinated with mediumship and channeling and other aspects of divination?
It's becoming such a trend right now, really. I think it's really going to be popular than the next rock star, really. I think that's really where we're going right now, because now people are seeing the fascination, because it's not about the idea of saying that, well, do we have a lot of facts behind this? You know, there will be certain facts if we're looking at consciousness science, but it's more so in the idea that people are really embellishing into their own truth. And they're seeing that everything that they are able to manifest in regards to their thoughts, in regards to their way of thinking, their mentality, is now starting to become their reality. Now people are just starting to see this a lot more. No matter how hardcore skeptic or hardcore doubters they've been, they're now starting to see this, and so many people cannot deny this now and say, oh my goodness, there's something here that we have just been told for generations upon generations, from our ancient cultures to many of our top specialists right now and educational experts are now saying this is exactly what's happening. Your thoughts become reality. You're creating your reality. Look into the power of the now.
Sure.
Look at positive thinking and how that's going to transform your life. Now people are seeing this, and they're seeing it for themselves. It's right in front of their face, and now, oh my goodness, this is something that's fantastic. I have to share it with the world. That person tells another person, and you do that 1,000,000 times. And that's basically what's happening. In fact, I feel that within the next 5 years, when you're looking at spirituality and consciousness, it's going to be about as popular as just being excited about the next rock band, being able to look into that, so we're such a musical culture, but I think right now the new music is really going to be the music of spirituality and higher consciousness.
When we talk about visualization and, the premise behind The Secret and other forms of visualization, do people, one of the biggest flaws I see with the entire concept, it's not the concept where it's flawed. It's the people, how they perceive the concept works. Like they think that, okay, I'm visualizing this, I'm visualizing this, I'm visualizing this. And they say, hey, wait a minute, it's not working. Is it me, or are they forgetting the most important part of this entire formula is that they have to work in making this happen? It's just not going to be dropped on their lap.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah. And it's all part of an energetic, and that's how we operate in this reality. It's a person that feels that I'm just going to sit on my couch, go in the lotus position, I'm going to meditate for that beautiful red car that I want. And one day it's just going to show up in my driveway. One day it's going to show up in my driveway. And they'll be doing that for days. They'll be doing that for weeks. But if they feel that they're not taking any action in regards to the manifestation that they're looking to bring in, then they're just going to continue to sit on the couch in that lotus position. It's not to say that the energy of the universe is not listening to you, but when you're basically putting out that request, it's very similar to how someone, like a mailman would receive the mail. The mailman is not just going to sit there and feel that the mail is going to deliver itself. He needs to get up off his desk, put all that mail into the sack, and then start delivering it to the addresses. So again, the action allows the gift of the mail to come together to people's doors. And it's the same thing with us, is that we have to take the action to bring forward the intention of the manifestation. So when you're really looking at the quote-unquote law of attraction, all you're doing is you're asking for what it is that you want to perceive as in your reality. You're taking action. You're becoming the vibration of what that energy represents. And this will therefore bring forward the opportunities for such a manifestation to come into your reality. So it really is about asking, becoming, and receiving opportunity.
One of my favorite sayings that I've said throughout my life is that the only difference between a dream and reality is doing it. The dream is the thought. Your actions bring forth your dream.
Exactly, and that's exactly correct. And that's really what our dreams are, is that they are basically unmanifested material. And all we're attempting to do is bring those dream planes onto Earth, as what many people would say, bringing heaven onto Earth. And in order for that to happen, you have to feel that unmanifested material that's contained in the ethers is just as real to you as being able to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out through physical reality. So that's basically the whole premise, is that if you really feel that I want to go on a trip to Hawaii, or I want to meet the person of my dreams, then I need to look more into myself of what I feel I am preventing from actually making that happen, rather than the idea of saying, oh, universe, can this happen? The universe is telling you all the time, yes, this can absolutely happen, but the thing is, you haven't taken any action to making this happen. If you feel that you want to have that relationship, but you're very, very needy, and you feel that you cling on to people, and that you feel that you just need to have a relationship, and here you are asking for a divine relationship, a loving relationship, how can there be that true love when there is so much need and so much attachment to other things, the physicalized aspects of the relationship? So it's basically the universe saying that just start to unpeel the layers of yourself and realize that you are attracting these aspects. You attain new realization, and now the opportunity for a new partner can come your way because you have addressed the barriers that have prevented you from allowing a partner like that to manifest.
Years ago, we used to have Psychic Friday nights, and I'd bring on 4 different psychics, or an astrologer, a tarot card reader, and a channeler. And I stopped it because we would get the same people calling in, asking the same question. It came to a point where I'd say, well, what are you doing to make things change? This one lady would call up about, is she going to find Mr. Right? And after about the 4th week, I said, well, what are you doing to find Mr. Right? If you're just sitting at home doing nothing and waiting for the phone to ring, it's not going to happen. Or, am I going to get that new job? Well, have you applied for the job? The simplistic things in life that people seem to take for granted. And, if you confess it, you will possess it. And the difference between a dream and reality is just doing it. Brad, you and I have to take our final break for this hour. Thanks so much for sharing your time with us here tonight on the X-Zone. X-Zone Nation, my guest this hour is Brad Johnson, www.consciousmatrix.com. And Brad and I will be back on the other side of this break as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't forget, X-Zone Nation, it's simple. But you have to make it happen. Anything is possible, but you have to work and make it happen. That's the simplicity of it all. We'll be back. Don't go away.
The following program may contain coarse language, violence, nudity, mature subject matter, or scenes which may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
www.consciousmatrix.com is the website of my guest this hour, Brad Johnson. Brad, it's a great pleasure having you on the show. I love the way that you think. I love the message that you're getting across. And what I really love is you're telling people, hey, you have to take responsibility and make your dreams come true. And that's just by coming up with the idea, working to make it come true. Because like you were saying, if you're going to keep on sitting there, visualizing that brand new car in your driveway, unless you go out, get a job, find a way to pay for it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is just about being able to work with the path of action that you feel is appropriate for the manifestation that you're feeling in the moment. And this is where we're moving into the heart mind, that the heart really is the true mind, and that represents feeling. And if we can really start to work together with our feeling, with our hearts, open up a lot more, then feeling becomes our reality. And that's where you see a lot more larger picture in regards to what reality means, rather than just looking at the physical brain.
Brad, before we go, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about body regeneration healing. Tell me about that. You developed it.
It is a concept that I was able to manifest just by being able to speak with, again, the entity I channel, Adronis, a lot more. And basically what it represents is holograms, and that these holograms are basically symbols, which I've termed as sacred circuitry. And basically what you're doing is you're just using your intuition to scan an individual's energy based upon these holograms that are being created. And so it's kind of like a very, very kind of spontaneous, abstract, hyper-dimensional language.
Wow.
And as you start to communicate through intuition, you're actually talking to the person's body as if that body is a person within itself. In a way, it is. And basically, you're starting to diagnose all of these particular forms of ailments that they have. It's not so much of going into the medical field, but it's basically just having this kind of advanced form of healing. This is in no form of replacing the medical profession, but it's basically just an additional technique that people can utilize by being able to have their body scanned and working together in co-creation between the facilitator and the one who is looking to become healed into a lot of different factors. And basically what it does is it orients itself to recalibrate the thought process of another person so that they actually start thinking more positively in ways of how they can improve their life, improve their health, improve any other particular factor that they want to do, being able to bring forward enhancements. And so it's all part and parcel of being able to work together in that co-creation to share with that person, scanning their energy and giving them advice in that way about what they can do to continue to improve their body. These holograms that are then created, again known as sacred circuitry, are being utilized to work together with the subconscious. They're actually codes, and these codes are actually working together with one's own auric field to actually help to create what's known as energetic diplomacy or energetic negotiation. And so it's negotiated with, and these people are noticing these very strong healing effects that happen within days.
Fascinating. Brad, we're going to have you back on because this hour has gone by so fast. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us tonight here in the X Zone. But before we go, once again, let our listeners know how they can find out more about you and the services that you offer.
Yes, you can go to, again, www.consciousmatrix.com. You can also email me at info@consciousmatrix.com. And again, there's a lot of stuff there, services, products, free videos, free meditations, all kinds of stuff. So feel free to check out the website.
Brad, take care of yourself. Pleasure talking to you, and say hello to everybody in Vancouver from their friends in Hamilton, Ontario.
Thank you so much, Rob. Take care. Thank you for having me on.
Bye-bye now. Exonation, Brad Johnson has been my guest of this hour. www.consciousmatrix.com. That's www.consciousmatrix.com. And we're going to have Brad back on because we still have so much to talk about. This is the X Zone. My name is Rob McConnell, and I'll be back on the other side of the news at 6.5 minutes past the top of the hour as we continue investigating the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology, Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until 2 a.m. Eastern, right here in the X Zone. www.xzoneradiotv.com is our website, and I will return at 6.5 minutes past the hour. Don't go away now.